All right, here are solutions to the word problem worksheet from class today in 111. The first word problem, find 4 consecutive even integers whose sum is 212. If you follow the clue or the hint that I give you at the bottom, I let x be the smallest of these guys. So then x plus 2 would be the next one, right, since they're all even integers. And then the next one would be x plus 4. And the last one would be x plus 6. Right, so 4 consecutive even integers, that's why they're all 2 apart, whose sum is 212. So let's see, the sum is 212, so that means if you add up all these guys, we should get 212. But if you add up all these guys, you get 4x plus, let's see, 2, 4, and 6 plus 12 equals 212. So 4x plus 12 equals 212, 4x equals 200. So x equals 50. So I guess our answer, our 4 consecutive numbers, would be 50, 52, 54, and 56. Because remember, x was the smallest one, and x is 50. So put a box around this, and that problem's done. This next problem, find 2 numbers whose sum is 24 and product is 135. And it says complete the square to solve this guy. Okay. 2 numbers whose sum is 24. Okay, if x is one of those numbers, then the other one, if they were going to add up to 24, has to be 24 minus x. So if our 2 numbers are x and 24 minus x, using this fact, and the product is 135, then we know that x times 24 minus x has to equal 135. And so to solve this, you distribute this x through, and you get negative x squared plus 24x equals 135. And so to complete the square, maybe move everything to one side of the equation. You get x squared minus 24x equals 135. Which is something we can solve. Oh, whoops. Plus 135 equals 0. And this is something you can solve by completing the square. So you throw your brackets around the x squared and then negative 24x. And maybe we'll come up here. Half of negative 24 is negative 12. Then you have to remember to subtract this number squared, which is 144. And then we got this plus 135 on the outside equals 0. So x minus 12 squared equals, let's see, these guys net out to negative 9. Add it over to the other side, you get positive 9. Take the square root of both sides, and you get x minus 12 equals plus or minus 3. So for our answer, we get x equals 12 plus or minus 3. So x is 9 or 15. And those will end up being the 2 numbers that add up to 24. The way you can think about it is, okay, 9 looks like it's one of the solutions, but if I plug that in up here, 24 minus 9 is 15. So that gives me this is the other one. And if I had plugged 15 back up in here for my solution, I'd 24 minus 15 get you the 9. So either way, you get these 2 as your answers. Number 3, the length of my office is 50% bigger than the width of my office. Let's see what hint I gave you guys on this one. So let x be the length, okay? So that was probably a bad choice. I think I'll change that. I think I'm going to make x be the width, so I'll have to change that on this worksheet. Because if x is the width, then the length is 50% more than the width, So the length is 1.5 times x. Once you got these two, if the perimeter is 60 meters, let's see, the perimeter is twice the length plus twice the width equals 60. But we know that the length is 1.5x. So 2 times 1.5x plus 2 times the width is x has to be 60. So 3x plus 2x equals 60. 5x equals 60. X equals 12. X is the width. The length is 1.5 times this. So we get the width is 12 and the length is 1.5 times 12, which is 18. All right. Friend and I start at the same spot and start running. I run east, she runs south. So she's going this way, I'm going this way. My speed is 75% of her speed. So maybe her speed, x equals her speed, and 0.75x equals my speed. And the question, after 2 hours, we're 10 miles apart. So let's see, this distance right here is 10. And after 2 hours, if x is her speed, and she is running which direction? I run east, she runs south. So if she's going x miles per hour for 2 hours, she's traveled 2x. If I'm going 0.75x for 2 hours, I have gone 1.5x. So we got this equation right here that we can solve using the fact that this squared plus this squared equals this squared. So 2x squared, 2x squared, let's write this up here, 2x squared plus 1.5x squared is equal to 10 squared. So 2x squared is 4x squared. 1.5x is 2.25 x squared. That's equal to 100. So I got 6.25 x squared is equal to 100. You can divide this as is. I mean, maybe with the calculator it's a little bit easier. For me, I'd rather deal with fractions here. So this is 6 1/4, or 24 quarters and 1/4, or 25 quarters. X squared equals 100. And why this is nicer for me is now I can multiply both sides by 4 divided by 25, the reciprocal of this, and I get x squared is 16, so x equals 4. So what is it asking? How fast is she running? Her speed is x, so we're done right here with x equals 4. 4 miles per hour, her speed, that's it. Okay, moving on to this next one. It takes me 20 hours to paint a fence. A friend and I it takes a friend 15 hours to paint the same fence. How long would it take if we worked together? Okay, and for this one, I said it was distance equals rate times time. Let's say distance equals 1 fence. My rate would be, let's see, it takes me 20 hours to paint a fence. So I paint 1 fence every 20 hours. I paint 1/20th of a fence per hour. His rate is he paints 1 fence every 15 hours. So maybe our rate is my rate plus his rate. Which, let's see, common denominator, this is 4 times 5, this is 3 times 5. So 3/60ths plus 4/60ths, which is 7/60ths. So if our speed is 7/60ths and we want to go distance of 1, since we know distance equals rate times time, we can solve for t. T is equal to 60/7. So whatever that number is how long it would take us to paint this fence if we worked together. What, a little less than 9 hours, I guess? And finally, the shadow. More or less a triangle. Let's see, I am 30 feet away from a 24-foot light post. So if this is my light post right here, I don't know, light, and it's 24 feet tall, and I am 30 feet away. So if this is me right here, pretty big head. Good enough. Well, I'll put some. There we go. And I am 6 feet tall, so this right here is 6. So then the question is, how long is my shadow? So my shadow is going to be from me over to here. We can call that S. Looks a little bit like a 5, but I promise you it's an S. Okay, what we do here is we got similar triangles. If you think about this, like we got 2 triangles here. The outside one is 24 by 30 plus S, right? This distance right here is 30 plus S. And the smaller triangle here, maybe I'll draw it in red, is 6, my height, by S, the length of the shadow. And then what we know is that the ratio of this side to this side is the same as the ratio of this side to this side. So what I'm saying is that 30 plus S divided by 24 has got to be the exact same as S divided by 6. See, a few ways to do this. Maybe we will multiply both sides by 24. That should work easiest. 30 plus S equals 24S over 6. 24/6 is 4S. So subtract S from both sides, and you got 3S equals 30. So S, the length of my shadow, is 10. I think that is finally the end of the worksheet.